on my target audience. And my target audience is essentially the audience that's listening to the podcast right now.
Awesome.
They read every single chapter. They gave me feedback. And when there were things that maybe weren't working, I actually fixed those things. And the book was written over a period of 7 years. And it incorporates all my knowledge as a USC graduate in communications management, as a UCLA graduate in marketing and project management, as a Berklee College of Music graduate in professional music, and as years as a professional musician. So again, this isn't Bobby Borg concepts of marketing. It's my personality telling the story of marketing, essentially.
Let me provide something here for the audience before we get out of here today. I want to encourage everyone, of course, to grab the book, Music Marketing for the DIY Musician by Bobby Borg. But before they get a chance to get their hands on the book, which I'm hoping they will do right now, I believe it's an excellent read. Tell us about something that we can do from a marketing standpoint today, right now, Bobby, that can have an impact on what we're doing. So for the average, let's say, songwriter or band out there, give me one tip that we can put into place today that will have some type of impact with respect to our marketing message or our branding.
Yes, sure. One of the things I really have found that a lot of young musicians are doing is they're doing things and hoping that they work and hoping that something is going to happen. So in other words, people are good at like building their Facebook, building their Instagram, uploading stuff onto SoundCloud and things of that nature, and maybe reach out to a couple fans and and send a couple emails and that type of thing. And usually at seminars when I talk, people will say, Bobby, I'm doing all these things, but somehow I don't feel like I'm getting to the next level. And my question to them is, how do you know that what you're doing is working? And there's silence.
Right.
And you see that the light goes off in their heads and they go, I guess I really don't. Because, great, we have a couple people that, that respond to us, maybe write back to us on Facebook and things like that. I've seen people with, 100,000 Instagram friends, and then I go to their show and there's 4 people there. These Instagram fans that we have, are they interested enough to actually purchase our stuff?
Right.
And great, they're looking at our pictures and they're like putting little hearts next to us eating ice cream on Instagram and stuff and eating pizza, and here's us in our rehearsal room. But what does that matter? Is it working? Are you connecting with them? Are they listening to your music? Are they buying your music? Are they coming to your shows? So what we need to do is we need to do what's called measure your marketing. You need to understand whether or not what you're doing is working. When you're sending out your emails, how many people are actually opening the emails? How many people are going to your website? And how many people are actually staying on your website? There's tools that we can actually use that will tell us all these things. And when we're doing something wrong, we need to fix them, because otherwise we're going to do the same things over and over and over again, and years are going to pass us by, and we're going to wonder why we're not successful. And essentially, it's because you're doing stuff, you're working hard, but you're not working smart.
Wow.
So it's very, very important to think about this. Measure your marketing. Don't assume what is working and what's not working. Be actually really clear, and then fix those things. So that would be a really, really important thing that I think a lot of people fail to do.
Wow, that's amazing. And I didn't think about that, having all these followers online, but not have them do anything in actuality or anything that will benefit you, maybe to the bottom line or to your shows or maybe purchases and things like that. I never thought about that, because a lot of us, I think, really are taken by, hey, I have so many followers or so many likes and things like that, or views, but you're saying that it really comes down to them engaging in a way that makes sense for you as a musician. Wow.
If I could, I want to share a quick story with you.
Sure, please.
Okay. All right, so I'm at a very, I'm at an age where I was able to experience the world before the internet. I know that might sound crazy to some of your fans, but I was, maybe about 20 when the internet came out. The internet came out sort of, around 1991 or 92, right? Or 93, it became commercial. In any case, I was able to experience the world before then, and that world before was a world where, in order for fans to get in touch with you, they would have to read about you in a magazine, see your address for your fan club, write you a letter. Then you would have to go to the post office. You would have to open up that letter, read it, and then stuff an envelope and send it back to the fan. And that's essentially how you communicated with your fans. Or your fans came out to your show and they talked to you at your show. But that's essentially what we were dealing with. So I spent months like opening every letter, trying to communicate with the fans. And I remember there was one particular fan that stood out that kept on writing, and I would write back, and I would spend my time to write back to them. And and then finally one day I asked this fan by letter, what is your favorite song on the record? And they said, record? I didn't buy your record.
What?
And I wrote back and I said to them, then why are you writing us? And they said, because you're the only person that writes back.
That's crazy.
So my point was here I am spending all my time with this, and which, by the way, turned out, and how am I supposed to know, turned out to be an 11-year-old girl that looks at these fan magazines and saw the picture of a band that she was interesting, wrote them, they wrote back, and that's the only reason why she writes. She doesn't have our record. She hasn't bought it. And I'm thinking, what am I doing here? Because you take her and you multiply that by, I'm sure, hundreds of others that are doing the same thing. And I am not focused. I am just throwing stuff out there, hoping that it's going to work. And doing that is the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. It was going nowhere. And I feel that's exactly what's happening on Facebook and Instagram. You're communicating with a lot of people that might not have ever even clicked on a link of your music, just might be interested in because they think you're handsome or cute. And it's just all just one big pen pal club. It's just all one big fan club. It's just all, at the end of the day, one big waste of a time if you're running a business.
That is crazy.
When we're running businesses, if you're not bringing in money, it's not a business. It's a hobby.
Wow.
And you guys listening, you're in this to be a business, right? This isn't a hobby. This isn't for fun. And if it's for fun and it's a hobby, that's another story. Otherwise, we need to get more direct. We need to know what we're doing out there. We need to measure. We need to be more strategic. This is all a pain in the butt. We all would rather be doing our music. But in this DIY age that we live in today, you have to attract the attention of those that can help you by first helping yourself. You have to be the CEO of your own company. And once you get the ball running, once you get leverage going, people will take notice and people will be interested in you. And people will come in and want to work with you. But you have to get things going. You have to do this on your own. You have to pretend as if nobody else exists out there.
Wow, that is phenomenal. Man, your insight is just amazing. And for those of you who are listening here to the podcast today, that last story alone is a reason enough to go grab the book, Music Marketing for the DIY Musician. Again, that's Music Marketing for the DIY Musician. Hey, Bobby, will you tell the audience how they can get a copy of the book, please?
Yeah, sure. You can very simply just go to Amazon, of course, and they have it available physically or they have it available digitally. I mean, you can always go to the Apple iTunes store and get it digitally there as well. If you'd like, you could also order it from my website at www.bobbyborg.com. And it's always a pleasure for me to autograph the book, and then I send a couple extra special gifts with the package as well.
Sweet.
Those would probably be the three ways. You can always go to a bookstore as well. and order it if they don't have it on the shelves.
Okay. Awesome. Hey, listen, again, the knowledge today was just amazing. We would like to stay in contact with you and follow what you're doing. How do we keep up with you on a regular basis? Do you have any social profiles out there that we can follow, that we can, again, stay up to date on what you're sharing and talking about out there? Where can we find you?
So first of all, my name is Bobby Borg. It's spelled B-O-R-G. So once you have that, just go to Facebook, do a search for me. You'll find me there, and you'll recognize me because all my posts are obviously about the music business and marketing. You could go to Instagram as well. You could go to Twitter, and then also to YouTube. Those are the platforms that I frequent the most. So please find me there. And I'm constantly posting articles, not just myself of my own things, but of other people's works as well. So definitely please join me up there. And of course, you can always just email me from my website at www.bobbyborg.com. Let's just say, for example, if you had a quick question or something.
Wow. Okay. Well, hey, guys, you got the invitation. Make sure you go to Bobby's website. We'll put this in the show information in the show notes so you guys can grab the links and go to his website. So he just gave you an invitation. Why in the world would you not take him up on that invitation? Maybe to get some additional knowledge for your marketing and your branding and just getting your message in the hands of the folks that you want to respond. You want to create fans that respond to your music. Bobby will show you how to do it. Again, Bobby's book is Music Marketing for the DIY Musician. Hey, Bobby, I thank you so much for your time. You've been great. You've been informative. Man, we want to make sure that we grab that book. Hey, Bobby, thank you so much for joining us today on Swim.
Hey, thanks very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, again, make sure you check out Bobby Borg, Music Marketing for the DIY Musician. Bobby is a wealth of information. The man knows what he's talking about, man. Please support him. Check him out. Hey, also, you can find Bobby's links in the show notes. You can find it in this podcast information section. So where you hit play for this podcast, search down in that area where you see some descriptions about the show, today's show. You'll see his links right there. Check him out. Follow him. All you're going to do is help yourself by doing so. Hey, that's today's show. We're out of here. Make sure you share this podcast. Share it with your teacher. Share it with your bandmates, band members, with your mama, with your dad, whatever, man. Just spread the word. We need your backing. We need your support. And send us a review, preferably on iTunes, and check us out on the next show. $10